I love the trend, but I don't like passing the level of trend. It's like very 90s. So this is what's happening in fashion right now. Everything is such a throwback. Like this hair is very throwback 90s hair, and this top is very throwback 80s with the big puffy sleeve. We have two eras going on, or we could just call it 2020, which is such a hybrid of everything thrown into one pot. Today I'm talking about hot trends of 2020, but not just any hot trend of 2020. Hot trends I will definitely be avoiding, ones you will not catch me caught dead in, really hot trends, but just not for me. Let's get into it. Number one is going to go to the little tiny micro bags. I'm just foreseeing that these are going to be on the way out. They're not out yet. They're very much still hot and relevant in fashion today, but they are just absolutely not for me. We've talked about the micro bags more than a few times on this channel, several times in fact, but it needs to be said again. The micro bag is one of the stupidest trends ever of all time. Not to be confused with the mini bag, which we love, we are here for. We are here for a mini bag. We are not here for a non-functional micro bag. Tell me what in the hell is going on with this bag. You cannot fit a single thing into them. I have asked you guys to tell me. Not yet has there been a commenter in my comment section who has let me know, no, look, Maytel, you're wrong. There's something more to these bags. Let me tell you. Never has a commenter schooled me on what we can do with these bags. This is what the bag's suitable for. The bag is suitable for her. This is who the bag is suitable for. In fact, it might even be a tad small if she likes the oversized, like she might be into oversized bags. I love you. It's too much with fashion trying to make a statement. It's too much with consumers trying to make a statement. It's just like what I've talked about in other videos, is like just hype beasts and overflexers, like just trying to be on top of trends. I'm just gonna buy this absurd, ridiculous, eccentric thing to make a statement. You and I both know, no, there is no function. We know it. This is a hot trend that I will just not be wearing in 2020. Number two is going to go to a very specific item. It's not necessarily one style. It's just a very overhyped, very, very hot item. And that is specifically the Dior Saddle Bag. The Dior Saddle Bag is just not a bag that I think makes a whole lot of sense. I do understand that the armpit bags are very popular right now. All the designers are bringing back the old school bags from, you know, back in the day when it was all about the armpit bag. The bag that sat right under your armpit. You're going out with one of those bags and you're sweating, like, ew, that is so nasty. It's literally in your pit. Ew. That being said, there are some of them that I really like. The Dior Saddle Bag, however, is not one of them. I just think it looks like a kidney shaped, it's a kidney. Like it's just, Dior is extremely expensive. Everything Dior. Dior bags, Dior ready to wear, very, very, very expensive. One of the highest designer price points out there, comparable to Chanel. Yeah, very, very, very expensive. You know what? It's cool. It's a novelty item because it's been done before and they brought it back again. So it's like a very cool, almost collector's bag. So if you're a crazy handbag collector, this is, you know, maybe a cool bag for you that you want to invest in. And obviously if you love it, you should invest in it if that's your thing. But for me personally, I'm not into it. I'm not rocking it. I'm not dropping a crazy amount of money on this bag because I think it will die down again. It won't be relevant in fashion several years from now. They might bring it back out again in another 15 years. But yeah, for me, the Dior Saddle Bag's just not cutting it. And yeah, not something I'm wearing in 2020. Number three is going to go to this new vibe of these 80s and 90s power suits, like think Angela Bauer, think pajamas mixed together. Very 80s, very 90s, kind of like on the cusp, late 80s, early 90s. And it's just not a vibe I'm feeling. The like silk, almost pajama sets, and also just the power suits, I'm seeing silk suits, very much in fashion right now. I see a lot of designers doing it. When I'm on like these luxury high-end websites, you know, scrolling through the designers, and I see the new fashion and the new trend reports coming out, and I see all the things that they're trying to show. I'm seeing a lot of these, specifically silk suits and power suits. They're just not a vibe for me. I think they should definitely stay in that era. Again, 2020 fashion is just such a hybrid of so many generations past, and some of them need to stay in that generation. And I know, like, and you know what? A lot of people might think that this whole vibe right here needs to stay in its generation as well. That's totally fair. This is a little bit hypocritical of me to say. I'm just telling you what works for me, what I don't like. I'm just not feeling this like Angela Bauer vibe. If you ever watch The Golden Girls, a rerun episode of The Golden Girls, just observe that fashion. It's insane. Those sweaters that they wear with like the embellishment on the shoulders, and they're like balloon sleeves tapered at the wrist. Like, I'm so here for that, but it's just crazy. All that fashion has completely come back. And yeah, just like this silk suit and the power suit, I'm just not here for it. I'm not wearing it in 2020. Number 4 goes to the overly puffed sleeve. Listen, there's a limit to the puff. There's a level. There's a spectrum of puff that me personally, I feel is acceptable. You might think this is absolutely not acceptable at all, and that's totally fair. This is a particular taste. It definitely is an exaggerated sleeve. It's not for everyone, but it is very relevant in this era of fashion. And I don't make the trends. Like I said, I just report them to you. And I dabble. I dabble in the trends. I love the trends. And some of you agree with me. That's why you're here with me. And I love you for that, and I appreciate you for that. But let's talk over the top puff. Like I said, there's a spectrum, and sometimes you're just too far off. Like Beyonce at the Golden Globes, for example. And we love Beyonce. We love her. We are not throwing shade at all. We're just saying that puff is just a little bit, it almost looks like she's gonna perhaps blast off. Like, that is one hell of a puff. That is one hell of a poofy sleeve. I mean, it really does look like she might just shoot up into the sky with that sleeve. And that's all I'm saying. You know what? It's not about the puff sleeve. I'm here for the puff sleeve. I love all the crazy sleeves. The puffs, the ruffles, the frills, the balloon. I'm here for it. I just, you know what? I don't like when things are taken too over the top. I love the trend, but I don't like passing the level of trend. It's far gone. It is, like, I don't want to feel like suffocation is a possibility. You know what I mean? When I'm wearing these kind of things. So I keep the puff at a reasonable puff level. You know what I'm saying? Although it would be good if I like slipped, it might like parachute and like help break the fall. You know what I mean? But still, like, I think it's a safety hazard, suffocation. And I think that it's on the spectrum. It's at the end of the spectrum. So we're not wearing massive, gigantic, hazardous puffs in 2020. That's what we're not doing. Which actually brings me to number 5, over the top weird shit. So we just talked about number 4, taking a trend and going way too far with it. I'm talking about just like over the top stuff, which I've talked about many times in other videos. You just won't see me in crazy over the top trends that just are trying. You know what I mean? Just really trying, not succeeding, in my opinion. Like, just the crazy over the top style of sunglasses that we see. Crazy over the top styles that are just obviously just trying to make a statement. And I think you can make a really good statement in fashion without trying so hard. If you just tone it down, you know what I mean? Like, take one thing off. Sometimes when you're doing the most, it comes across as just like cheese, you know what I mean? It's too obvious what you're going for, like you've passed it too much. You've tried just way too hard that it's just such a fail, you know what I mean? And it's not that the effort goes unnoticed, but it goes noticed. It's crazy. Over the top stuff, like I've talked about it so much in my like horrific trends of 2020, like runway pieces that, you know, they're not really attractive at all, but people that just always want to do the most and be so eccentric and make such a statement, they always want to rock it. Well, you know what? Maybe don't. Or do. I take it back. Do. Do you. Like, I mean, don't listen to me. Who am I? Absolutely nobody. These are just things I'm not wearing. So this might come across as really critical. I guess I'm being pretty critical. Number 6 is going to go to plain logo t-shirts. You know, I've touched on logo so many times on this channel in so many different ways. What I mean by plain logo t-shirt is just like a very simple shirt with simply a logo on it. There's absolutely no style to the shirt. Like I've seen this with so many different designers, just like a plain white t-shirt with a logo on it. And I don't mind a logo t-shirt with like embellishments, with design, with cool font, with cool like metallic. I understand why some people like it because, you know, it makes them feel a little bougie, and I get it. You should totally wear fashion that makes you feel good. I'm just really not into a plain logo t-shirt without anything else on it except the logo. Just give me one other thing on it to make me think it's cute. Change up the colors, do a something, add a something. I don't know, just a plain white tee with the logo. I'm not here for it. It really has no style whatsoever. I'm not wearing it in 2020. So similar to my previous point, number 7, logo, but in a different way. Head to toe logo, which I've talked about again many, many times on this channel, but this is a trend I will not be wearing. That does not mean I won't be rocking logo. I love the logo mania trend happening in 2020, which I talked about in my 15 trends coming in hot for 2020. Logo mania was in there, and I'm here for it. I love logo mania. Fendi did like a Fendi mania thing. Gucci is doing logo mania hard for the last several seasons, and I'm here for it. I'm here for like the pop of logo. I love it. A piece, you know? There's a way to style it. I'm talking about just really trying way too hard. Logo literally from top to bottom, like everything, the bag, the shirt, the pants, the shoes, the necklace. It's a lot, it's too much, and that's really that on that. I'm not rocking it in 2020. I'm just not. Number 8 is going to go to a very specific item, not like a whole trend, but an item that is very trendy, and that is going to go to the Gucci logo belt, and that's not because I don't think it's cute. I do think it's very, very cute. I just think it's overdone. It's played out. It's been done too many times. We're seeing it everywhere all the time. I just can't get it out of my Instagram feed ever. I see it pretty much every day of my life. It's actually very beautiful. It's cute. It's a really great accent. It's just not something that, first of all, I don't own it, and it's something that I don't think I'll ever buy, at least not anytime soon, just because I think it's way too overdone. Yeah, I'm really sorry. Here's the thing. I know a lot of people that have this belt. Of course, there's so many people who love fashion, that have really beautiful taste, that own this belt and rock this belt, and those are probably my viewers who owned it first, you know. You guys, I know you guys that own it. You guys were like the first generation of Gucci belt owners, you know, before it got so hot. And then, you know, it's just gone viral gangbusters too much. It is, like I said, it is really cute. I really can't say anything bad about the style of it. It's a beautiful leather belt with a nice buckle, a nice accent, you know, and it gives your outfit a little zhuzh. I just think the zhuzh it's been zhuzhed too many times. You know what I mean? You know, when you see something over and over again too many times, it loses its zhuzh. It loses its wow factor, and that's kind of what's happened for me with the Gucci belt. Like, it's still a hot item that people love, but it's just not something I'm going to be wearing this year. And finally, number 9 goes to also a very specific item, specifically shoes, the Amina Muaddi shoes that everybody is obsessed with, at least a lot of fashionistas that I know, some of my friends, a lot of the people that I follow. I just see these Amina Muaddi shoes everywhere. I just feel like they have an identity crisis. I'm not here for this heel. It's just like very business, and then goes like blocky at the bottom. So what's happening? It's like business and then party. You know what I mean? Like, which direction are we going with this heel? I don't know. and I don't want to figure it out. Definitely a bit of an identity crisis going on here. I'm obviously the minority because these are such a hot item. So many people live for these shoes. The shoe designer, they love this like interesting flared heel happening. I know it's very possible it's just me and I'm the one missing something. I'm just not really into this trend. So that pretty much wraps up the last item that I can think of today that I'm definitely not wearing. This year, 2020, yeah, no, I'm not wearing them. Let me know what you think. I'm sure a lot of you disagree with me. Just don't freak out on me. I love you guys so much. You guys know I'll be back in a couple days with another really fabulous video. I cannot wait to see you. Until next time, bye for now.